If you're tired of waiting for your manifestation, if you're tired of not seeing anything change in your current 3D reality, if you want to just get this over with already and get what you're manifesting, I'm about to give you a real tip that will change your reality. Not a catch to drag you in to get you to watch this video, but a real tip that is going to change your 3D. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you? Well, I'm going to skip my typical intro. I'm going to just say, if you want to work with me in any way, shape, or form through coaching or where else to find me, that's all in the Dropbox below, okay? All the information to talk to this biatch is in the Dropbox below. If you're new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I am obsessed with getting what I want and getting it fast and getting it effortlessly. I don't like to do a lot of work. I don't want to work to get what I want. I want to break through the chains of 3D reality and 3D conditions and experience my utmost heart desires. And you're watching this because you do too. So I would appreciate if you would subscribe and come back and see me because, listen, I have over 900 videos on this channel that will help to change your reality. I have tried and tested and done pretty much anything you can think of in the manifestation world, or I wouldn't talk about it. In other words, I only talk about things that I have tested, tried, and true, what has worked fast for me, and what has helped me to maintain my manifestations. All of them. And I'm continuing to bring in more, and you can too. So subscribe, come back and see me, and let me help you change your life. And I would really appreciate you giving this video a like so it can get out and help other people who are struggling in their own manifestation journey and are sick and tired of waiting for their stuff. The more you like the video, the more it gets out there, the more YouTube recommends it, and I would appreciate, yes, think of me as your manifestation best friend or your manifestation auntie, big sis, whatever words feel good to you. I want you to imagine me as being the little devil on your shoulders, right? We've all heard that analogy of having, the good angel versus the bad angel on your shoulders. Well, I'm the sweet little combination of both of them. Yeah, I can be sassy, but my sass is always delivered with some love. And that is because I want to quit the shit. We want to cut through the bullshit and get to the meat and potatoes of what's going to get what you want. How am I going to get there? How do I get my specific person? How do I get the money to show up? How do I get my health to change, my appearance to change? How do I do it? I'm going to be that for you. So let's jump in. Now, let's take a hard look. Now, for some of you, if you are new to manifestation, you need to be in the knowing that you are pure, unadulterated consciousness. That is who you are. That is what is going on up here. It is you really being. At any given millisecond, you are always being. And when I mean by being, I mean you are identifying as a specific version of yourself. As pure, unadulterated consciousness, you have the ability to sincerely embody, step into a completely different version of yourself. I know it sounds weird. It sounded weird to me, but it's not weird. It's real. So first of all, that goes right out without saying. We are always identifying as a version of ourselves. And if you're trying to manifest something specifically, for this video, we will be using the examples of specific person. If you are trying to manifest a specific person, and we're going to make the assumption that you are manifesting a specific person for a love relationship. Yeah, a long-lasting, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, whether that's marriage or just companionship, being in a boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend relationship. Okay. So every single one of us has been conditioned to believe certain things about ourselves and about the world around us from the moment we are born on this planet. The conditioning begins. Again, as I always say, but if you're new here, this is not for us to blame and shame your parents or the caregivers that raised you. It's not their fault. They were conditioned to, right? They were only using the tools they had. That doesn't mean they were all good people, but some of them were. So it's not their fault. They are conditioned too. But you, as a conscious manifester, are consciously choosing to drop the conditioning, to become a version of yourself who is not already conditioned with limiting beliefs, right? You get to keep all the stuff you want. I'm sure there's aspects about yourself or about your life that you enjoy. You don't have to get rid of those. Those you can keep. There are infinite versions of you. So there's a version of you out there who kept all the good stuff but got rid of all the shitty stuff. That's okay. What you're going to want to do is define who your new self is, okay? But this video is not about teaching you the basics of manifestation. This video is to give you a really important tip that I know is going to help you, and it's going to change your reality because your perception of reality will change if you use this tip, okay? If we're manifesting a love relationship, it goes without saying, we should have already taken an inventory over what we believe about love and relationships, meaning what are we expecting? What do we think is going to happen for us if we manifest our specific person? What does love look like for you, the individual? I want you to bear in mind, and this is not to scare you out of what you already desire for love. What I'm saying is what you believe about love, how you think it should look, how you think you should feel is based off conditioning. Even the basic bitch things like wanting your specific person to open the car door for you, that's based off conditioning. And it's okay if you like those things. You can still have them, but be aware. Everything you are expecting is coming from conditioning. Literally everything. So, because of that, we can change whatever we want. We can choose for ourselves whatever we want. But on this manifestation journey, and this is where the tip is coming in, because of conditioning, and because we already have preconceived ideas of what this manifested new love relationship or manifested specific person relationship, we already have preconceived ideas of what it should look like. So some of us, here's the tip, some of us, because of life experiences, again, coming from the conditioning, manifested from the conditioning, manifested from our beliefs. We already have a picture of what we think reality, current 3D reality, should look like for us to be reassured that our manifestation game is working. Our manifestation affirmations, our manifestation visualizations, or what we've scripted on paper. We already have an idea of what we should be experiencing for us to feel better, that everything's working, we're doing everything right, blah, blah, blah. That's the first problem. And I don't think it gets talked about enough. It is the first problem. So here's the tip. We got to drop those preconceived ideas. What I am not saying that if you know what you want to experience in your relationship is constant communication between you and your specific person. So in other words, you enjoy the texts, the calls, okay? That doesn't mean you have to make yourself stop liking those things. That's not this message. This message is we all have an unfortunate habit of using our senses in our 3D and allowing our senses to determine for us if you're okay, if you're feeling okay, if everything is okay, if everything is working out for you or not. We use senses to tell us that. And that is something that we as conscious manifestors have to get used to, the idea that we've been in a habit. Most of us have been in shitty habits of being very limited versions of ourselves. You see, as 3D individuals, and that's what we are manifesting, right? Our body, the physical body you're sitting in and watching this video, is a physical body that is manifested every single day. Every day. It's in a habit of responding to what our senses are interpreting for us. We got to break that habit. Some of us have been in some shitty habits of deciding that if I'm not getting text messages from my specific person, if I am not getting calls from my specific person, then this isn't working. I'm not getting what I want. Specific person isn't showing up and choosing me. Nothing's changing. We have to stop looking at what we're experiencing currently in our 3D and then deciding that something's wrong, something's not working. This thing should be happening for me to feel safe, that my manifestation game is on point and I'm still going to get what I want. So for example, let's say that you've been in the habit of experiencing your specific person calling you every single day at the same time because that's when they get out of work. And you're used to receiving that call. And in your past experiences, whenever you didn't get that call, that implied that your specific person is starting to back off, is starting to leave you again, because maybe you've had that experience, let's say at least 3 or 4 times, but it doesn't matter. If it happened only once, you probably started a story connecting to that, we'll say 6 o'clock text message or that 6 o'clock phone call. You've already judged it. You've already labeled it. If I don't get that phone call, SP is not going to be my boyfriend, husband, or girlfriend, wife. SP is pulling away again. SP really isn't choosing me. SP doesn't love me. There's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. Do you hear how all of those things are really just what? Limited beliefs based off what you are expecting to experience. So therefore, if we don't experience it, it must mean, right? We're coming to our own decision here. It must mean I'm not getting what I want. Something is still wrong. I have to tweak my manifestation game. That's what's wrong. That is what has to go. You want to break the attachments to what you've already experienced in 3D. Your experiences do not determine what you manifest unless you allow them to be. You see, the idea of being a conscious manifester and being a damn good one, really experiencing the things you desire, is by allowing yourself to just observe. Observe what's going on up here in your mind. What kind of thoughts are coming in? Thoughts are just thoughts. It is our human 3D side of us, our logical side, that attach meanings to thoughts. So for example, you didn't get the call today. 6 o'clock is long gone by and that call didn't come in. The text didn't come in. You haven't heard from your specific person. You, based off of logic and reasoning, have already started the process of thinking, I didn't get the call or text. They're backing off again. The anxiety has already started in your body. I bet you your body started feeling anxiety before 6. I bet you about 5 o'clock, as you knew those 60 minutes are passing, that you should be expecting that call. And what if that call doesn't come? The anxiety, the nervous stomach is already taking over. No, that's habit. That's habit from your conditioning. It's habit from the version of self that you are choosing not to embody anymore so that we can change our 3D experience. Whoever you are consciously aware, who I know that I am, is what we're experiencing out here. But because those habits, they grip. Because habits seem to grip very, very hard on us, it can feel hard to break a habit. It can feel hard to let that thinking go, especially when your body is working with you. And by with you, I mean with that old version of self. It's working with you. It's giving you the feeling of anxiety. It's giving you that feeling of worry, maybe butterflies in the stomach, maybe tightness in your chest. You've been in a habit of associating a certain time of day, action or non-action on your phone, that your body's in the habit of responding to that time of day, to looking at your phone, silence, the phone not going off. You are in a habit of believing, if I don't get that, if I don't get that experience in the 3D, this isn't working. SP's never going to manifest. SP's never going to change. I'm never going to change. There was never anything wrong. Based off your old experiences from conditioning, your mind has already reasoned and prepared yourself to not get the call, to not experience it. It's habit. It's conditioning. It's all it is. And if you want that shit to stop, you have to become aware of what you're really thinking. You have to become aware of who you are really identifying as. You see, all of us have preconceived ideas of what is normal for us. We all have preconceived ideas based off experiences of what is safe and secure as our normal, that indicates I'm in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with this person. This person is still choosing me. If A, B, and C happen in my 3D reality, I know that that must equal everything's okay. I have my relationship. I have my person. They still love me. They're still choosing me. Your preconceived ideas over what you should be experiencing in the 3D is what you're using to judge the 3D with. And that's the problem. When you have decided to be awake to conscious manifestation, the best thing you can do is to allow yourself to not shit yourself over the 3D, to allow the 3D to unfold, to stop labeling experiences as good or bad. Stop giving them the meaning that you're not getting what you want. It's breaking habit and nothing more than that. And listen, be easy on yourself. Some of us have been awake and manifesting these 3D bodies for a long time. Some of us have been here on this planet a little bit longer than maybe the person sitting next to you, right? Some of us have experienced a lot of things in our life and have found certain experiences to be our safety net, to be our normal. And I am not trying to tell you that you have to change all the things that you love about your 3D experience, or change the things that you want and expect to experience in your love relationship. What I'm saying is, you've got to start looking at reality as every single thing I am experiencing indicates I'm getting what I want. Even if SP doesn't contact me at 6 p.m. every single day, I'm still getting what I want. That call means nothing. That call has never meant anything. That call was nothing but the evidence that your mind keeps reminding you of to keep you anchored to the reality where you have to worry about that call, where you got to give that call meaning. But can't you see? That's just logical, literal thinking. It's logical, literal reasoning. You're above that now. You're awake to who you are. You are pure, unadulterated consciousness. You are only what you think you are. You are only who you believe you are. You are not bound and limited by thoughts and experiences. You are here to choose, to select, to decide what you want. In theory, if what you want is to experience that 6 o'clock call every damn day, just because you want to experience it, you can be the version of yourself who gets that call every day. You can consciously be that version of yourself. But you still have to break the attachment of what that call signifies to you. You see, that's what a lot of people do in this community. It's why you see a lot of people saying, hey, I did this. I did my manifestation techniques. I was in the state and nothing happened. 99.9999999% of the people that make comments like that are unfortunately still very attached to the 3D world and the 3D experiences that they are using against themselves to indicate whether everything's okay or not, whether manifestation is working or not, whether specific person loves you or not, or specific person is choosing you or not. Break yourself free from it. Detach from that. This is why we say detach from the 3D. Don't allow the 3D to tell you who you are. You are telling it. Observe what are the things in the 3D that you are deciding, I must see this in order to believe that everything's okay and I'm getting what I want. When we are consciously manifesting, the only thing that we need to do is choose to embody the version of yourself that has what you are manifesting. So if you're manifesting a specific person, and let's say you're manifesting marriage, your only job is to start embodying or start identifying as the version of yourself that has the marriage. A happy, loving, fulfilling, committed marriage. All the little things in the 3D that you are using against yourself to decide that you don't have that and won't have that are all the little experiences and attachments that are keeping you anchored to the reality that you don't want to be in. And this isn't about you having to pretend that you're married and in your mind you're thinking, I feel like I'm lying to myself. I don't feel good saying that. It feels too resistive to say I'm already married. It feels better to say, I know I'm going to be married to a specific person. I know I'm going to be. That's okay. That's good enough. That is still going to bring you to the reality where you get your marriage. But all the things in the 3D, all the little experiences, all the little nuances that you are clinging to, if this isn't happening, this isn't working. All those little things you want to say goodbye to. That doesn't mean you're not going to get your calls. You're not going to get the love, the attention, the affection that you're manifesting. It never means that. It means you're no longer willing to pick specific ones and label this is working or this is not working. He loves me not. She loves me not. You are consciously choosing, to let reality flow, to let it unfold with the knowing you're totally going to get what you want, because you will. You will. It's undeniable. Who you believe you are is always what you experience in the 3D. If you have trouble believing that manifestation is real, I challenge you. Take a look at the last year or two of your life. Did it match how you were thinking in your mind at the time? Did it match what you believed about yourself? Listen, I'm so cocky confident in this. The answer is going to be yes. The answer is going to be yes, because you are always ever experiencing what you believe about yourself and about every other aspect of reality. It's what you're believing. It's who you're identifying as. Start putting the focus, start putting your awareness, your thoughts, the thoughts you're consciously choosing, on being the you that has what you want from the limitless perspective. It's allowing yourself to choose the limitless version of yourself. And why I use the phrase choose the limitless, because this video is going to be watched by all sorts of people with all different beliefs, all different limited beliefs. So maybe in this moment, I don't know exactly what your limiting belief is, but if you choose the limitless version, then you ain't got to worry about limited beliefs now, do you? Because the only reason you don't have what you want is because you were in the habit of identifying as a version of yourself with some shitty limited beliefs. Not all of them are shitty, but in the area that you're manifesting, if you still don't feel too great about it and you're not experiencing what you want, you got some shitty limited beliefs about that subject area or about the person you're manifesting. We have to decide that we no longer have those anymore. And you're so powerful as consciousness, you get to just decide that. And it has to be true. And when you make that decision, you instantly go to that version of yourself. You instantly go to that reality. Where we fall and fall back out of that reality is when we look back at reality, and if we don't see the certain things that you're attached to, like the 6 p.m. phone call, you are deciding that you're not that self. You are deciding that you are the old self who doesn't get the phone call when specific person is backing off. Do you see what I mean? So what things are you telling yourself, well, I'm not seeing this. This hasn't happened yet. They haven't done this yet. So it hasn't manifested yet. I haven't gotten what I want yet. Or worse, this isn't working. Manifestation isn't real. Or I can't do this. It works for everybody but me. What are the actions? What are the circumstances? What are the conditions that you are so attached to that you're using them against yourself to decide that this isn't working? I'm telling you, if you take an authentic inventory of what you're expecting in 3D reality to happen to get what you want, you're going to find that you've got a lot of nuances that you've been using against yourself. Your mindset should be, it's always working. Even specific person showing up and saying, I'm never going to marry you, biatch. Even that can be a part of the unfolding of you getting married to that mofo. You see, there's nothing in 3D reality that can truly get in the way of your manifestation. But because you're so powerful, you get to choose whatever version of yourself you are. No one limits you in that area. Nobody gets in the way and says, no, you can't be her or him. You're in total control of that. So every time a thought comes in that says you're not going to get what you want, you didn't get your 6 o'clock phone call, and you believe it, and you select that thought, and by select, I mean you sit, you think more about it, you marinate in it, and then more shitty thoughts come. You've selected that reality, and that's exactly where you went back to. Stop using text messages, phone calls, not going to specific restaurants. Stop using things in the 3D to dictate to you what reality you're in. I'm telling you, if you put the focus on who you are being, if you make that your top priority, what version of yourself, right? You put all the focus on being the you that has your desire, 3D reality is going to change. And it's going to provide you some damn good things like some texts, some calls, going to specific restaurants. You're going to get those things if you would identify as the version of self who has her desire. Your higher self, God, universe, knows what you want. Your only job is to identify as having it. That's it. That's all you got to do. So, what is your expected normal in your 3D? What are you saying? If I see this, then I can be rest assured that I'm getting my manifestation. What are you using against yourself? Because remember, we manifest from within out. Whatever's going on in here projects out. It's not the other way around. It's not, what am I seeing in the 3D? Okay, that must be who I am. So I'm going to keep looking at that and say, haven't got the call yet, didn't get the text message, they haven't professed their love, this hasn't worked. No. If anything, that's the manifestation of your old self. And it will change as you place your awareness on being the you that has it. Stop using this expected experience against yourself. Give that up. And you start to give that up by placing your awareness on already being that version of yourself. Whether you use affirming, visualizing, scripting, inner conversations, embodiment, which is allowing yourself to feel and think and believe you are already that self. Whatever technique you choose to use. For me, I tell myself that I'm new self. That's what I do. I allow myself to feel like I am new self. What would it feel like to already be the you that has the desire? Because guess what? You really are already that you. You just gotta choose it. Okay? You can use any technique you want to do this. Don't use your 3D as the thermometer that you can be rest assured that manifestation is working for you. It's a waste of your time, and it's anchoring you to a reality you're not interested in being in. So on that note, if you have any questions on that, if something didn't make sense, okay? Some of us chase feelings so much. Listen, all the available emotions and feelings that we have to choose from, they are available in every single state of consciousness, every version of yourself. So don't use your pissy mood or your anxious mood or the anxious feelings in your body. Don't let the fearful thoughts, don't let any of those things tell you that you're not new self. Choose new self anyway. The body will catch up. The body will catch up. You don't have to be afraid of thoughts. Thoughts are nothing. We put the labels on thoughts. We put the labels on the 3D. We give things the meaning of good or bad. Everything is neutral nothingness until we judge it and slap a label on it. Listen, I know that doesn't feel good and that doesn't make sense, but there really isn't duality. Think about it. And this isn't a very good example, but murderers, they don't think what they're doing is necessarily bad. Not all of them anyway. Some of them get pure pleasure over what I would label the terrible things they do. There really isn't duality. Don't use duality against yourself. Everything in the 3D is really meaningless until you give it a meaning. I'm not telling you to have an expectation all the time that shitty things have to happen for me to get what I want. Or I'm not telling you to expect bad, to expect unhappiness. I'm also not telling you that you have to always expect everything to be great. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm saying when you realize all the things that you've been labeling as shitty, bad, you are the one who's been putting that meaning on it. So therefore attaching you to a reality of you not getting what you want. Everything is meaningless. Everything is. And when you become so indifferent to what shows up because you're so knowing, believing, trusting that you're going to get your manifestation, then even things that we would label as shitty are still leading you to your outcome. There's nothing to fear, ever. No one is, running ahead of you, snatching your manifestation. You're not competing against anyone ever. Just yourself. It's just yourself. It's just you. So who are you being? What are you expecting and therefore judging? Your only job is to identify as the version of yourself that has your desire. Again, any questions on this, please feel free to put it in the comment section. Okay? And if you made it to the end of this video and listened to me bab along, give me a purple heart. You know that's my favorite color. Give me a purple heart. But on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.